Take a slow breath in and gently let it go. Tonight, you will travel far to the north, to a quiet fjord beneath a sky brushed with silver clouds, to a time when the world was lit not by electricity, but by fire, moonlight, and memory. It is evening in a Viking settlement. The day has already begun to soften. The wind that moved across the cold sea all afternoon now drifts more gently along the shoreline. Small waves roll in steady rhythms against dark stones. Somewhere beyond the waterline, a wooden ship rests pulled high onto the sand, its curved prow silhouetted against the fading light. You are standing near a longhouse. The longhouse is large and low, built of timber and turf, its walls thick and heavy. The roof slopes down almost to the ground, layered with sod that still holds the faint scent of earth and grass. Smoke escapes slowly from a narrow opening along the ridge of the roof, drifting upward and dissolving into the darkening sky. Inside, warmth gathers. The great door, made of heavy planks, creaks softly as it closes against the wind. The last light of evening slips away, leaving the interior lit by firelight alone. Now imagine yourself stepping inside. The air is warmer here, heavy with the smell of wood smoke, dried herbs, wool, and faint salt from the sea. It is not unpleasant. It is grounding, real, lived in. The longhouse is one wide room stretching lengthwise. Down the center runs a long fire pit, a shallow trench filled with glowing embers and steady flames. Above it, smoke rises slowly toward the roof vent, carrying with it the scent of birch logs and resin. The fire crackles softly. It is not loud, just a gentle, constant whisper of warmth. Along the walls are raised wooden platforms, broad benches covered with furs and woven textiles. These are where the family sleeps. During the day, they serve as seating and workspaces, but at night, they become beds. The Vikings did not sleep alone in separate rooms. The longhouse was shared space. Warmth was shared, breath was shared, the quiet rhythm of sleeping bodies was shared. In one corner, a few animals shift softly. A goat settles its weight onto folded legs. A sheep exhales through its nose. In winter, animals were often brought inside for warmth and protection. Their presence added to the heat of the room and to its steady, living soundscape. Listen carefully. You can hear the faint rustle of straw beneath bedding, the low murmur of voices finishing their last words of the day, the quiet clink of a wooden cup being set aside. Outside, the wind moves along the walls, brushing the turf roof like a slow hand passing over grass. Inside, the fire glows lower. The family prepares for rest. The father of the household, broad-shouldered, steady, checks the embers with a long stick, making sure the fire will last through the night. He does not let it blaze high. He banks it carefully, pulling ash over the coals so they will smolder slowly until morning. This was important. Fire was warmth, light, protection. Without it, the night would be long and cold. Near him, a woman folds woven cloths and sets aside tools used for spinning wool. The faint smell of lanolin still lingers in the fibers. Her movements are calm, unhurried. There is no rush here. Night is expected, welcomed. Children already grow heavy-eyed. One small child curls against a thick sheepskin, thumb resting near their mouth, hair smelling faintly of smoke and salt air. Another whispers a final question about tomorrow's chores, but the answer fades as sleep arrives mid-sentence. The longhouse slowly exhales. Bodies settle onto the wooden platforms. Furs are drawn up. Blankets shift. You can almost feel the texture beneath you, the firmness of wood, softened by layers of hide and woven cloth. It is not the softness of a modern mattress. It is solid, grounded, supportive, the kind of surface that reminds you of the earth beneath everything. Lie there now. Imagine you are wrapped in a heavy wool blanket. The wool smells faintly of grass and clean animal warmth. Over it lies a thick fur, perhaps reindeer or sheepskin, smooth in some places, coarse in others. The fire paints slow patterns of orange light across the rafters overhead. Shadows move gently along the walls. No one fears these shadows. They are familiar, known. The Vikings understood night not as an enemy, but as a cycle, a turning of the world, a necessary quiet between efforts. Outside, the sky deepens into indigo. If you step outside for just a moment in your mind, you would see stars scattered wide above the fjord. The air would be crisp, cold enough that your breath would fog in front of you. The water would reflect faint streaks of starlight, but inside, it is warm. Inside, there is breath, slow breathing. One by one, each person drifts into sleep. The sounds grow softer, a final murmur, a shift of weight, the quiet sigh of someone turning onto their side. And then, stillness. The Vikings often slept in two phases, a first sleep and a second sleep, waking briefly in the deep of night to tend the fire or step outside beneath the stars before returning to rest. But for now, this is the first descent. The body loosens, the mind releases the day. You feel the shared warmth around you, the presence of others nearby. Not intrusive, just steady, reassuring. The fire settles into glowing embers. It makes a low, rhythmic sound, a soft pulse, like breathing. In the far distance, beyond the thick wooden walls, you might hear the faintest echo of waves touching the shore. In and out, in and out. The animals are quiet now. Occasionally, a hoof shifts, a soft exhale, then silence again. The scent of smoke becomes softer as your senses grow heavier. Your eyelids feel warm. Your thoughts begin to drift like the smoke above the fire, rising slowly, dissolving. Imagine how dark the world truly was in those centuries. No lanterns in distant windows. No hum of engines, no glowing screens, only firelight, only stars, only the slow turning of the earth. And in that darkness, sleep was deep. It was thick and enveloping. It wrapped around the longhouse like the night air wraps around the hills. Your breathing matches the rhythm of those around you. Slow, even, unhurried. The wooden beams overhead hold steady. They have stood through many winters, through storms and snow, through wind that howled like distant spirits. Tonight, they stand quiet, protective. The banked fire glows red beneath its blanket of ash. Its warmth reaches you in gentle waves. You are safe here, safe in the longhouse, safe beneath the turf roof, safe beside the breathing warmth of family and animals and fading embers. The night deepens, and you drift into the first sleep of the Vikings. Let the warmth hold you, let the quiet carry you, and rest. Take a slow breath in, and let it leave you gently. The longhouse is quiet now. The first layer of sleep has settled over everyone inside like a soft woolen cloak. The fire no longer flickers brightly. It glows low and steady, a bed of embers pulsing with deep orange light beneath a veil of pale ash. If you listen closely, you can hear it, the faintest crackle, the soft shifting of charcoal giving way to warmth. Outside, the wind has changed. It no longer moves in restless gusts from the sea. Instead, it drifts down from the hills behind the settlement, carrying with it the cool scent of pine and damp earth. It brushes against the turf roof and slips through the smallest seams in the wooden walls, barely noticeable, just enough to remind the house that the world beyond it is wide and breathing. Inside, bodies lie close together. In Viking households, privacy was not defined by walls, but by trust. The long platforms along the sides of the longhouse are now filled with sleeping forms. Layers of wool and fur overlap. An arm rests loosely across a child's shoulder. A hand lies open, relaxed, near the warmth of another. Breathing becomes the dominant sound. Deep, steady, layered. One person inhales slowly. Another exhales in a slightly different rhythm. Together, it becomes something like the tide, overlapping waves of breath rising and falling. The Vikings understood the value of shared warmth. In the cold northern climate, especially in winter, closeness was survival. Even in milder seasons, it was habit, it was comfort. Imagine the feel of that closeness now, the steady warmth beside you, the solid reassurance that you are not alone in the dark. The soft weight of layered blankets tucked securely around your shoulders. A child shifts slightly in their sleep. The fur beneath them rustles softly. A quiet murmur escapes their lips, perhaps a dream already beginning. Dreams were important in Norse culture. They were not dismissed as meaningless. Sometimes they were seen as messages or reflections of the spirit. In the quiet of this first sleep, dreams are simple. They echo the day. Perhaps someone dreams of rowing across the fjord, the rhythm of oars dipping into cold water, the steady splash, pull, splash, pull. Perhaps another dreams of tending sheep in a wide green valley beneath low, drifting clouds, the soft bleating of lambs, the feel of grass brushing against their hands. The fire continues its slow work. Its warmth rises gently upward, filling the space beneath the roof before drifting outward. The longhouse is built to cradle that heat. Thick timber walls, packed earth, and sod hold warmth like a great wooden chest holding treasure. Above the rafters, the night sky stretches endlessly. If you imagine stepping outside now, quietly, so as not to wake anyone, the air would feel colder against your skin. The fjord would lie dark and glassy, reflecting stars like scattered silver coins. In the far north, sometimes the sky would shimmer with pale green light, the aurora rippling silently above the world. The Vikings may have looked up at those lights with awe, weaving stories of gods and warriors across the heavens.